Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at something lots of English learners run into.
Yeah.
How do you get better at speaking when, well, you don't have a regular speaking partner?
Right. It feels like a big obstacle, doesn't it? But the good news is you absolutely can improve on your own.
Yeah, definitely. And that's our mission for this deep dive, giving you actionable step-by-step ways and some really helpful tools, too, to boost your speaking skills solo.
Exactly. Think of this as your practical guide. We're aiming to make it super useful, packed with tips you can start using right away.
Okay, let's jump in. First up, maybe the most fundamental thing, just using your voice, speaking English out loud every single day.
Yeah, and it sounds simple, but actively speaking, it just engages your brain differently than, say, reading silently.
How so?
Well, think about it. Saying a word out loud uses your mouth muscles. You hear the sound you produce. It creates a more physical memory, a stronger link to the language compared to just seeing it written down.
That makes sense. So the idea is just talk, set aside some time, pick any topic, your day, your plans, what's around you, and just speak your thoughts aloud in English.
Mm-hmm. You could pretend you're giving a little speech or maybe telling a story to an imaginary friend. Anything works.
It's like active recall versus passive recognition.
Right. Exactly. Reading is like recognizing a face you've seen. Speaking aloud is like drawing that face from memory. It forces your brain to retrieve the language, which really strengthens those neural pathways. Much more powerful.
Okay, here's a pro tip building on that.
Mm-hmm.
Try recording yourself just for like a minute. Use your phone.
Ah, yes, the recording step.
Then this is the important part. Listen back.
Yeah, no, listening to your own voice can feel a bit awkward at first for some people.
Totally. But it's incredibly valuable feedback, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You'll spot things you just don't notice while you're speaking. Maybe you hesitate a lot on certain words or repeat fillers like, or maybe there's a pronunciation thing you weren't aware of.
And over time, keeping those little recordings, you actually get proof of your progress, which is super motivating.
Definitely. It becomes your personal progress tracker.
Okay, so speaking aloud, recording yourself, what's next? This one involves listening and speaking, we could call it, becoming someone's echo or shadow.
Shadowing. Yes, that's the term. It's a really powerful technique. And interestingly, it kind of mirrors how we all learned our first language as babies.
How does that work?
Well, babies listen intently to their parents, right? And then they try to mimic the sounds, the babble that eventually turns into words. Shadowing taps into that same natural imitation ability.
So practically, how do you do it? Find some native English audio. Could be YouTube, a movie, another audio program, anything really. And as you listen, you immediately repeat what the speaker says right after them.
And the key is trying to match everything, not just the words. Focus on their tone, their speed, the rhythm, even the little pauses they make.
So you're copying the music of the language, not just the lyrics, so to speak.
Precisely. That intonation, the rise and fall, the stress patterns, those are crucial for sounding natural. And by mimicking them, you're training your mouth and your ear subconsciously.
It probably feels a bit strange at first, just echoing someone.
It can, yeah. A little mechanical sometimes.
But you're saying it's effective.
Hugely effective. It's one of the fastest ways to improve your fluency and pronunciation because you're internalizing the natural flow of spoken English without getting bogged down in grammar rules. You just absorb it.
Absorbing the flow. I like that.
Huh.
Okay, moving on. Let's talk tech. Because nowadays, there are some amazing tools right at our fingertips.
Oh, absolutely. Technology has really opened up possibilities for independent learners. It's incredible.
So let's run through a few helpful apps. First one, Cake English. Have you used this?
I've seen it, yeah. It uses those short video clips, right? Real people in everyday situations.
Exactly. Which makes it perfect for that shadowing practice we just talked about. You see the context, hear natural phrases, and you can loop them or repeat them easily.
That context is so important. You're not just learning isolated phrases. You see how they're used.
Definitely. Then there's Duolingo, a classic.
Can't forget Duolingo. So many people start there.
Yeah, it's very popular, especially for beginners. It gamifies learning, makes it fun, keeps things simple. And it does have speaking exercises built in.
Right. Even those simple speaking tasks, they build confidence. Just getting used to producing the sounds, saying the words out loud in English. It's a good starting point.
Okay, next, Elsa Speak. This was pretty smart.
Ah, the AI pronunciation coach.
Yeah. It uses artificial intelligence to listen to you speak, analyzes your pronunciation, and gives you feedback on clarity, fluency, like having a personal tutor for how you sound.
And it's quite detailed, isn't it? It breaks down specific sounds using speech recognition, compares you to a native speaker model, and pinpoints where you might need work. Really useful for targeting tricky sounds.
For sure. Now, what if you actually do want to talk to real people, even if you don't have someone nearby?
Well, that's where language exchange platforms come in, like HelloTalk or Tandem.
Right. These apps connect you with native English speakers all over the world who are often learning your language, so you can help each other.
Exactly. You can chat via text, but crucially, you can also do voice calls. It's fantastic for getting that real-world conversation practice. Maybe not formal lessons, but just chatting naturally.
That exposure is invaluable. Then there's TalkEnglish. What's the focus there?
TalkEnglish is more about practicing specific types of conversations. They have scripted dialogues for common scenarios like job interviews, ordering food, casual chats.
Oh, okay. So it helps you prepare for particular situations you know you'll face.
Precisely. It gives you structured practice so you feel more confident walking into those real-life moments.
And if you want feedback from a real human, not AI, but maybe more structured than a casual chat,
then you could check out Speechling. With Speechling, you record yourself speaking specific sentences or answering prompts, and then an actual real-life language coach listens to your recording and gives you personalized feedback on pronunciation, fluency, grammar, whatever they notice.
So it's a tailored advice from a person.
Exactly. More detailed guidance if that's what you need.
And finally, we can't possibly ignore the biggest resource of all.
YouTube. Or other online video platforms, yeah.
Absolutely. Channels like BBC Learning English or Speak English with Steve. There are countless channels offering amazing free content, lessons, listening practice, pronunciation tips.
It's a massive library. Whatever your level or interest, you can find something useful. Structured lessons, informal vlogs, dialogues, it's all there.
So many great tech options. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. We've done audio, we've done tech. How about adding a visual element, using a mirror?
Mirror practice, yes. This adds another layer because it brings in awareness of your nonverbal communication.
Which is a huge part of speaking, right? Facial expressions, body language.
Definitely. So the technique is, well, pretty much what it sounds like. Stand in front of a mirror.
And just talk in English.
Yeah, but try to simulate real situations. Introduce yourself. Ask for directions. Give your opinion on something. Practice those kinds of interactions.
And the key is to actually watch yourself.
Exactly. Look at your reflection. Make eye contact with yourself. Use facial expressions that match what you're saying. It helps you get comfortable with how you look and present yourself when speaking English.
It probably feels weird at first.
Oh, almost certainly. But it connects the physical act of speaking with the visual aspect, building confidence in how you come across to others. You see yourself as they might see you.
Interesting. Okay, let's move from the external to the internal. A mental workout. Thinking in English.
This is a big one for fluency. If you're constantly thinking in your native language and then translating word for word in your head...
really slows you down.
Yeah.
Create pauses.
Exactly. Thinking directly in English helps bypass that translation step.
So how do you start doing that? It sounds hard.
It takes conscious effort at first. Try narrating your actions or surroundings internally, but directly in English. Don't form the thought in your native language first.
So, like, if I'm walking to the bus stop, instead of thinking the equivalent in my language, I should try to think.
I'm walking to the bus stop. The sun is shining. I feel fresh today. Simple things. Build that direct link between the concept or object and the English words.
It might feel slow and clunky initially, I imagine.
It will, but stick with it. Over time, it helps build that automaticity, that ability to produce English more spontaneously. It's a fundamental shift in mental processing.
Okay, automaticity. That's the goal. Now, another technique that involves existing material, reading out loud.
Yes. Reading aloud is fantastic for pronunciation and also for getting a feel for the rhythm and intonation of written English when spoken.
So just grab any English text.
Yeah.
A story, news article, social media post.
Anything works. Short stories are often good, or news articles. Find something you're interested in.
You should read it out loud.
Well, yes, but don't just read mechanically. Try to read with feeling, with expression. Imagine you're telling the story, you're sharing the news with an audience.
Ah, okay. Like being a storyteller or a newsreader.
Exactly. It makes it more engaging for you, and it really helps you internalize the natural sounds, the flow, the pauses. You're practicing the music again, but with written text as your guide.
Improves pronunciation and rhythm. Got it. Now, let's talk about vocabulary, but maybe in a slightly different way. Not just single words, but phrases, chunks.
Yes, learning vocabulary in chunks or whole phrases is incredibly beneficial. We don't usually speak word by isolated word, do we?
No, we use common groupings of words all the time.
Right. And learning these phrases together is often easier than memorizing single words out of context. Plus, it makes you sound much more natural.
Because you're using language the way native speakers actually use it.
Precisely. You learn which words naturally go together.
Can you give some examples of useful phrases?
Sure. Things like, to be honest, that's a great idea. Could you tell me? I'm not sure, but I think. On the other hand, you know those connecting phrases or common expressions.
So the advice is, notice these, learn them as units, and try to actively use them in your own speaking practice.
Absolutely. It makes your speech flow better and sound less like you're constructing every sentence from scratch.
Okay, we're covering a lot of techniques. How can people stay motivated and make this feel less like work? Maybe gamify it.
Yeah, setting small daily challenges or mini missions can be a really effective way to stay consistent and make it fun.
What kind of challenges are we talking about?
Keep them achievable. Like, today, I will only speak English to myself for 10 minutes straight. Or I'll record a 1-minute audio diary entry in English. Or maybe I'll try to explain the plot of my favorite movie in English.
Little specific tasks.
Exactly. Specific, manageable, and maybe slightly outside your comfort zone, but doable. They don't need to be huge undertakings.
And the benefit is building momentum.
Yes, and confidence. Each time you complete a little challenge, you prove to yourself that you can do it. Over time, that confidence really builds up.
That sense of accomplishment is key. Okay, one last technique related to tracking progress and reflection. A speaking diary or log.
Right. Reflection is such an important, often overlooked part of learning anything. A speaking log helps you consciously think about your practice.
So what do you put in this log?
Keep it simple. Each day, just take a few moments to speak about, well, anything.
Yeah.
What you did, something you learned, something you're grateful for. Just speak about it in English.
Does it have to be spoken?
It could be. You could record it, like we mentioned earlier. That gives you direct speaking practice. Or you could write it down first and then read it aloud. Both are valuable.
And the point is the regular practice and the reflection.
Exactly. It builds consistency. It gets you producing English regularly, and it makes you more self-aware. You start noticing what you're good at, what felt difficult, what you want to work on next.
So lots and lots of ways to practice speaking English, even totally on your own.
Absolutely. The main takeaway really is it's possible. You don't need a partner to make significant progress. Consistent effort using these kinds of techniques really works.
Consistency seems to be the magic word here.
It really is. Little bits of focused practice done regularly add up incredibly over time, much more than occasional marathon sessions.
Okay, so to wrap up, maybe a final thought or challenge for our listeners.
Yeah, let's make it really practical. Our final thought is this. Choose just one technique we talked about today. Maybe shadowing, maybe recording yourself, maybe trying to think in English for a few minutes. Just one.
Okay.
And commit to trying it for just 5 minutes today. That's it, just 5 minutes. See how it feels. Notice what happens. What do you observe about your speaking, even in that short time?
Just 5 minutes can make a difference.
It's about starting. That small action, done consistently, can genuinely lead to significant improvement down the road. Give it a try.